Radio, the future of radio and podcast. No limit to what we do.
IAXISRADIO, WIAX, the future of radio and podcast. No limit to what we do.
Hi, you guys, and thank you for tuning in to the Lola Shae Show. I am your host, Lola Shae, and we are here at IAXISRADIO.com, where there is no limit to what we can do. We do a little bit of everything here. There are a great many podcasts on our stream that you can feel free to check out. Take this time now to subscribe and hit the notification button so that you will be informed of all upcoming shows as they come out. So second, I'd like to say hello to all my usuals who tuning in the chat today. I would like to give a very, very special shout out to all my sponsors and supporters. I am just really happy to be here this week. It is a whole lot going on. Not going to take too long to get into it, but we're definitely discussing imposter syndrome this week. We're going to get into, the idea that some people just don't feel like they are the person that they think they are, or that everybody else thinks that they are. And it's a little bit more than a self-esteem issue. It's more like just a certain level of disbelief at the idea of the things that you're able to accomplish. And some people run from success, believe it or not. So we're definitely going to get into that a little later on in the show, as well as the minimum wage increases going up all around the country. Very, very happy to hear about that. As we all know, the federal minimum wage has been $7.25 since 2009. And I definitely believe it is high time that they start changing something on that level. A lot of states have enacted their own legislation, whether it be through bills or ballot measures or inflation adjustments they've used to increase their specific state-by-state minimum wage. But the federal minimum wage still, some state minimum wages are actually still quite low. I believe South Carolina's is still at $9. New York is amongst one of the highest in the country at $15 or $16.50 an hour now. It's currently, and it's supposed to go up again. Currently in this country, a living wage is around $25 to $27 an hour, possibly even more than that when you factor in the drastic increase in rent that everybody's been experiencing lately. Two-bedroom apartments are going for $2,700 a month, which is way, way, way out of the price range for a lot of people. So there's definitely some COLA, cost of living increase, and cost of living adjustments necessary. Whether we're going to get them, I feel like whether we get them or not, it matters only as much as we care, only as much as we're willing to speak up on it and make it an issue. As that goes for any particular issue that we're having in this country. If you're gonna sit back and say that this is the way it is and there's nothing I can do about it, then that's absolutely the truth. So, yeah. There's a lot of passing the buck and waiting for somebody else to get the story started or the conversation started or to have any kind of change in dialogue. And it really takes you being determined, you know, wanting to see the change happen. If enough people like you get together, change will inevitably come, as Sam Cooke liked to say. So, definitely want to get into, specifically, the whole impeachment drama. So over the past week, we've had an attempt by Democrat James Brown of Texas instituted I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but he introduced the idea to the House of Representatives that they should impeach Trump based on his actions with the bombing of Iran without the permission of Congress. See, basically, the president does not have give all power. He's not all powerful. There's a checks and balance systems that keeps us from arbitrarily just doing whatever the hell we want to do. Okay, so you have to get the permission of at least 1/3 of Congress has to agree before you can declare war on somebody. Now the loopholes is like Korea, Vietnam, and even Afghanistan's, where it was not considered an actual war. War was never officially declared, and so that's one of the ways that they like to use to circumvent the actual processes, right? So Trump goes and he bombs Iran. He then turns around and tells us, oh, we hit all of these high-value targets. We killed all of these high-value individuals, as far as, you know, people that the military complex deemed as public enemy number one. Not saying that they're particularly valuable to us because we don't know these people. And we really, honestly, as a people, really don't want too much to do with this whole situation. And we definitely feel like they're acting against our best interests. At least that's definitely how I feel. I'm not in the minority of this. This is a conversation that's being had currently. So it is what it is, right? So the idea that he instituted it, and then we had over 200 Democrats cross party lines, right, and vote against the articles of impeachment. So first, you have two parts to an impeachment. First, you have to, they have to bring the impeachment against the president, so he has to fit the articles of impeachment. They bring the impeachment against the president, which would be the House of Representatives. The House of Representatives then has to vote whether or not he did an offense which is in fact impeachable. And then once they make their decision, it's kicked over to the Senate, and they make the decision on whether or not to actually impeach the president. And then once they decide to impeach the president can then be removed from office. Now, we've had 4 impeachments, believe it or not, 4 separate impeachments in United States history. Everybody learned about Richard Nixon avoiding impeachment by resigning from the office. So they were intending on impeaching him, which would still have had to go through the same process, but he wanted to avoid the embarrassment altogether, so he decided to resign, right? But then we also had, let me make sure I get it correct now, I don't want to misinform anything. We had Andrew Johnson was impeached. Bill Clinton was impeached. Of course, there are a lot of people who remember that whole situation. And Donald J. Trump was impeached twice. This would actually be the 3rd attempt at an impeachment. He was impeached twice during his first term, historically, okay? But it never went past the House of Representatives. So they established the articles of impeachment, what they wanted to impeach him for. But when it came to the trial before the Senate did not find him guilty of impeachable offenses, so they did not remove him from office. So he was impeached, but it wasn't a complete impeachment. It wasn't a complete process, right? And that happened twice in his first term, and now we had an attempt at it happening again in his second term. All of this is historic and unprecedented. It has never happened before. So it's kind of like, for me, watching a really interesting soap opera, right? Okay, so, yeah, but I just was amazed by the sheer number of Democrats who claim to be wholeheartedly against Trump, but yet were so quick to defend him when the seeming perfect opportunity to get him out of office was presented to them. So that, going forward, to me, takes away from any argument that they have, any disgruntledness they pretend to have against him. As I like to speak before, these people associate, hang out with, and are extremely close with each other. They only portray the image of being at each other's throats for the benefit of us, for our benefit, okay? So it can look good for us, to give a reason for their astronomical paychecks, their inordinate amount of time in office, for some of these 80 septuagenarians and octogenarians in there, still sitting, holding on to the seats for dear life when new blood is desperately needed. Shout out to people like Chris Banks, Assembly members. Can't forget about Maldani leading the primaries this past Tuesday, even surpassing Cuomo. So congratulations are in order to him. I myself am keeping an eye out for whoever gets into the office and what they're going to do. I'm belatedly happy. I'm not gonna say happy, but I'm mildly satisfied that Zelnar Myrie stays in the Senate. I didn't feel like he needed to let go of his seat just for the fame associated with being the mayor of New York. He should stay where he is most useful at. We do not have many allies in the Senate. And again, he would have had to give up his seat. And by giving up his seat, leaving the option open for the other side to reclaim their seat. So it's not really even about sides anymore, as I started the hour with, but more so just aligning yourself with those who have your best interests at heart. Now, the problem with politicians is they lie real bad. They say exactly what they believe you want to hear for the sake of getting the vote, and then 9 times out of 10, we don't see these people anymore. So unfortunately, it's very unfortunate, but it doesn't make it any less true that Trump has been one of the only presidents who has been determined to satisfactorily accomplish all of the promises that he made during his campaign. Good or bad, benefit or detriment, he has kept the majority of his promises. And this cannot be said about very many other people. So say what you want to say about the man. You can't say that he told a lie like the rest of the politicians. Now, on the other hand, the things that he is doing has put the fumble in football. Okay, it makes the bureaucracy and the blatant incompetence actually seem genius. Some of the things this man is he's single-handedly dismantling our economy. He's creating levels of unsurety that is bound to have a ripple effect that will continue on for many, many years. Specifically with the tariffs on and off, the confusion that comes with that. It's really, really a lot. But yeah, there's still people who wholeheartedly have his back, like I said, and it seems like nothing in the world is going to change their minds. Nothing. Come hella high water, come loss of livelihood, come estrangements from family members, it doesn't seem to matter. They seem to want to stick by these people, or this person specifically, till the wheels fall off. And I honestly say I wish I could have experienced that level of loyalty in my life. It would have been epic. You hear me? I mean, somebody that through all my flaws and mistakes and misunderstandings, they still wholeheartedly is rooting for me. Those are the friends that are priceless. Those are the friends, the ones that don't ask questions, they understand. You know what I mean? Trump supporters have got to be the greatest. I mean, they're absolutely insane. Let's not get it twisted. But if you look at them and the level of loyalty that they display, despite everything, in spite of everything, is what I'm talking about. Like, I just need that in my life. If I could just get a couple people like that in my life, life would be great. It really would. A shout out to the loved ones. You know who you are. But yeah, we had Hakeem Jeffries, Laura Gillian, Timothy Kennedy, George Latimer, John Mannion, Gregory Meeks, Grace Meng, Joe Morelli, Josh Riley, Pat Ryan, all New York Democrat, okay? Elected Democrats. Now, okay, a lot of people say, okay, what he yes, it did. He didn't have anybody's permission to go bombing them people and possibly put every American's life at risk. Okay? Because number one, he knows these people hold a grudge generationally. He knows these people have a jihadist mindset, and it's a perfect reason. There's actually now somebody trying to do something to them for them to respond to. Okay, my opinion is they're trying to get themselves into another 20 years war. Okay, so Halliburton and the new version of Halliburton can continue making the billions and billions of dollars that they was making up until they were abruptly pulled out of Afghanistan. Now, why we wound up in Afghanistan in the first place, still up for debate. Okay, so yeah, but all of these New York Democrat elected representatives voted to not impeach Donald Trump. After saying that he's the worst president in the world, we need to get rid of him as soon as possible. Oh, we can't take it. We can't stand it. It's impossible. It's too much for us to deal with. But when the first opportunity comes to get rid of him, you're like, nah, it's not really that bad. I'm not appreciating it. I'm not appreciating it at all. And I really don't care about the weird political excuses that they could come up with. Continuity, stability, all that is crap. Okay? All of it is crap. If them people decide, and I had this discussion with a couple of people over the weeks about, how America became the superpower that it is. Okay, so we have to go all the way back to World War II, excuse me, because we wasn't in World War One. We said we don't want no parts of it. It's not our business. We minded our business. Now, and of course, I'm going to segue this, which I found a perfect segue. So bear with me, you guys. All right. So back during World War II, they wanted, the end of World War One, I should say. They were really, which is the proverbial they. They were upset that America didn't get involved in World War One. As a result of World War One, most countries established considered to be first world, I should say, countries at that time were in a state of chaos. Most of their infrastructure had been destroyed because of the war. Most of their workforce had been annihilated, killed off millions and millions and millions and millions of people because of the war. And their economy was in ruins. Everything was tore up and twisted. Now, mind you, at the same time, America, who stayed out of the First World War, was still progressing and profiting and doing what America does. And America had all the money. They didn't have no money. They didn't have no infrastructure. They didn't have no nothing. And America had all their stuff. So how to get America involved? America's got all the technology. America's got all of the stuff that they wanted, most especially the money, right? So in order to get America involved, a group of theys came up with a plan to get America involved in the war. Now, while this discussion was going on, talks of reward for this particular actions were discussed, and a letter was written. And in this letter, it stated that if they could successfully get America to get into World War, which would have been World War II coming up, then they would give these people Israel. Now, the letter is called the Balfour, I'm probably pronouncing it right, but look that shit up. It's historical declaration. Okay, minus all the other stuff I said in the middle. So the Balfour Declaration, again, was a letter promising that if they could get America to enter into World War II, that they would be granted Israel. Now, at the time, in 1940-something, it was not Israel that they were intending on moving to. It originally was in Ghana somewhere that they had originally wanted to establish their state. Now, mind you, the Zionists, not the Jews, the Zionists, two completely different individuals and groups of people with completely contrasting philosophies and value systems. I'm going to put that out there because everybody wants to anti-Semite everybody to death, and nobody has a problem with Jewish people. Jewish people love God. Jewish people love Jesus. Jewish people love love. Jewish people are awesome. Now, Zionists, on the other hand, there's a drastic and grave difference between people who read the Torah and people who read the Talmud. And if you ever have the unfortunate opportunity to read the Talmud, you would know why. Okay? So, with that being said, I just have to say that because, I'm waiting for somebody to try to tell me I'm anti-Semitic. I'm just waiting patiently. I'm waiting. All right? Anyway, so, in response to the Balfour Declaration, some people bought a big-ass boat, an old warship, and they dressed it up in Japanese flags and had people stand on the decks with Japanese uniforms on and had that ship bomb Pearl Harbor, which, importantly enough, is in Hawaii. Okay, so they bombed Pearl Harbor. America's like, oh shit, Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. We got to get their asses back. And so with that, the United States enters into World War II. We go through World War II, got out that motherfucker by the skin of our teeth, okay? if we didn't come up with the atomic bomb and what's his name, Oppenheimer and them motherfuckers was running around the Manhattan Project, all of that stuff, and he came up with the atomic bomb though, bombed the fuck out of Hiroshima, it would not have turned out the way that it did. Okay, it would have been a whole different world we living in right now. I promise you. Okay, but America wins World War II. Now, when World War II was going on, the same thing that usually happens during war happened to most of the other countries. So again, France, Germany, England, all these places was burnt, bombed, infrastructure destroyed, and again, millions and millions and millions and millions of people died. And once again, with the exception of Hawaii, which is where Pearl Harbor is located, America was still vastly untouched, right? Add to that when the men went away to war, the women came out of their houses and went to work, which some would argue is where the feminist movement and the sexual revolution and the that part, all of that parts comes out of women coming out of the house, right? Doing, in some cases, men's jobs, working in factories, building tanks, making bullets, all of the stuff to support the war effort. Then the United States starts making money off the war effort. Again, our infrastructure untouched. We did lose millions and millions of people, but we then subsequently also had a baby boom when they came back from the war. So it I'm not going to say it kind of righted itself, because that was the end of the old era and the beginning of the new one. And now we've recently had another ending of an era, but child, I can't keep up at this point. Just tired. My shoulders is tired. Anywho, so I'm going to take this time, like 20 minutes late. Don't care what happens. I like talking to y'all. But I'm going to take this time to go to our first video break, and I'll be back. Again, this is the Lola Shae Show right here on IAXISRADIO.com. I want to take a quick shout out to the Dr. Dre Victory Foundation, who is my transportation sponsor. So I want to thank them for supporting me and taking care of all my transportation costs, which, I got to get around to do this show. It's just necessary. So, so this is like far from my house too. So it's a lot of traveling. It's traveling. So I want to thank him specifically and definitely. I want to thank the people at, formerly Healthy People, but just people.com. And they're doing health and wellness and advocating for diabetes awareness and just, want to put the information out there for prevention for diabetes and make people more aware about the skyrocketing rates of amputations in the United States and specifically in the Bronx, where my show is located. So it's definitely hitting home for me. I personally have lost somebody to diabetes. I know a lot of people in my audience have lost family members to diabetes. It's definitely something that is beyond time for eradication. So anything that I can do to get the word out, to get the information circulating, get the conversation and the dialogue moving in the right direction towards a cure, first and foremost. But until then, at least give you some information, some help, some insight on how to deal with your situation, try to help you out, make your life as comfortable and long as possible, ultimately. With that, I will take this time now to do a quick video break, and then I'll be right back.
Say it's gonna be the day, thoughts start speeding, anxiety kicks in, just start getting tired, my pupils dilating, no people in today, staying in the crib was so fun. I tell myself breathe, 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 I tell myself breathe. Everybody got their own story, inviting you into my diary. You'll be turning the pages, crying for days. Don't judge a book by the cover, you'll be so amazed. I and say goodbye to yesterday. When my brain's the pain, panic insane, thoughts still racing, hit the emergency brake. When listen to me, F that OCD. Why's this happening? I think I need a good ride. I tell myself free, 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 I tell myself free. Everybody got their own story, inviting you into my diary. You'll be turning the pages, crying for days. Don't judge a book by the cover. You'll be so amazed, amazing. I'm worth saving. I'm worth it. I'm worth it. I'm worth it. I'm worth it. You're worth saving. Ooh. I tell myself free. 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 I tell myself free.
I wanna go with you anywhere, up to the moon and the stars. I just wanna go up. Baby, take me for a ride in the magic carpet. 747 glide through the clouds, baby, be my pilot. Hot air balloon, you're making me swoon, baby, that's what you do. You see all the mother fellas, they be trying, but they don't come through. Kind, patient, understanding. You give your kisses, hugging, squeezing. So I'm betting my cards on you. Keep doing what you do. I can't wait to see how the story begins. Make me go up, come to find we have a lot in common. Smart, cool, fine, swagger, king shit, just like I like her. You're giving me good vibes, what's running through my mind. Every day I've been waiting for a lover like this to come through. Take me up somewhere my mind can't explain. Wanna feel it rushing like heroin through my veins. So I'm betting my cards on you. Keep doing what you do. I can't wait to see how the story ends.
want to give a big happy birthday shout out to the incomparable Tara vocals by Jamel Jones. That was her first video up there, Breathe. I love her voice. I love the concepts of her songs. It's always very empowering, very, it's just, I don't know, it's just awesome. The wordplay, the concepts, the topics, all stuff that's necessary. A lot of it comes across as mantras that you say to yourself in the mirror in the morning. And sometimes you definitely need those. So thank you to her for constantly putting out good music, always being positive, always supporting me. I just want to say thank you to her. Shout out to the homies from Behind Enemy Lines podcast. Always very supportive. Want to say thank you to them. Shout out to Vaughn Belgrave. Shout out to happy birthday wishes to DJ Warren Stanley. Gonna try and come out to your birthday party this weekend just cause I need to in my life, get my two-step on. I was supposed to come out last weekend. I know how that works out sometimes, so I apologize to whoever it was that I was supposed to meet. They will be remaining nameless right now because I know they're mad at me, but they'll get over it eventually, I'm hoping. Okay, so we've been having a whole, we've been going through the whole immigrant deportation, forceful raiding of people's businesses, properties, warehouses, restaurants, schools they've been trying to go into. I think that's what started the riots in California, was the idea that they went into a junior high school graduation and tried to detain the parents of the children who were graduating, causing absolute chaos at the graduation. People got injured, people got trampled, everybody's trying to run every which way but loose. It was just pure insanity, okay? And then, of course, you have people coming out saying that this has gotten way too far. You're doing too much. And so they've been protesting. While I wholeheartedly disagree with treating people this way, and I think it's so disrespectful considering you asked these people to come here. You paid for these people to come here. You bust these people thousands of miles fanned out across the country, okay? Gave them all kinds of incentives to come here. Free money, free food, free everything. Which, in juxtaposition, you look at the white refugees that came in, the backlash from the other refugees, I should say, because there's definitely way more than Spanish people. But the backlash from the rest of the refugees has caused the new refugees to get absolutely no help whatsoever because everybody is so against helping the migrants, whatever we're calling them. I always find it very interesting when people say, specific certain countries as immigrants. I can't really agree with you on that. There's a lot of Americans in the world. There's a place called South America. A lot of countries are in South America, and those people are still American, whether you like it or not. Mexico was part of America at one time. Part of the continental United States was considered Mexico. Remember the goddamn Alamo, right? Okay. So yeah, it's weird. And then it's also weird that millions, and I do mean millions, over 600,000 immigrants come into this country illegally that are Caucasian. And they're not getting ran down on. They're not getting their houses raided. They're not getting their schools ran up in. And I think it's glaring at this point. So the argument keeps coming up, and I don't know why this is still an argument about the labor costs and free labor and emotional labor and all the things that women do. So just gonna brush over this because I found it all very interesting, and then definitely we'll be coming back to this topic next week. But I just wanted to bring it up a little bit because it's something that I keep hearing a lot about. So the argument over whether who's the prize and what's the prize and the value and who's bringing what to the table, I just have a strong desire to sit this to the side, permanently if I possibly can. Right now, what interests me about this particular argument is that it's just completely unfounded. It's absolutely unfounded, and any married woman or even an unmarried mother with their male partner, the father of their children, in the house with them can attest to the idea that men believe that they go to work and they come home, they make the money, and that's pretty much the extent of their responsibilities. Okay? That in this day and age, that is the extent. And anytime you want to bring up something to them, their number one go-to excuse is, well, I worked all day. I work all day. I work all day. I need to take this time to sit that to the side because, sir, you don't do half, not even half, the amount of work that woman does while she's quote unquote not working. Okay, this stay-at-home, non-working mom, not somehow contributing to the household is just a bull-faced lie, right? Absolute bull-faced lie. So let's just break down the numbers real quick. Okay, child care, $98,000 a damn year. Okay, child care starts at 98 and goes down as the kids gets a little older, honestly, but 5-6 years and $98,000 a year is $600,000, in case you did not know. All right, so we're just talking about 1 year, $98K child care. Okay, so a chef, $98K for a chef, personal chef, $98K. Okay, therapist, $40K. These numbers are adding up. She's doing all these jobs, so we're gonna just stack them certifications on top of each other, like Microsoft. All right. Therapist, $40K. Okay. Prostitute, escort, all those ladies doing all of the freaky things that you like is gonna cost you $144K a year. $144K a year. Yes, that's at $40 a watt, my guy. Okay? Because we're a la carte in that bitch. So every little thing you want, add some more money, bitch. Add some more money. All right? So that's that. Then now we got $46K for the housekeeper. So her picking up your nasty ass socks, doing your fucking laundry, all of that stuff, that's $48K a year. That's almost $50,000 a year. Totaling out to what? Over $600K a year. Sir, what you make, like 40, 60, 80 even maybe? Let's say you a baller, you make over $100K a year. You still can't afford her. You still can't fucking afford her. Now that doesn't include emotional labor, well, her figuring out the fucking everything, how to exist for the day, how is life going to go in this house, how, emotional labor. You came home feeling bad after you worked your 8 hours and came home and put your feet up on the sidewalk, on the coffee table, and watched the game. She's still running around after kids, getting dinner ready, and then you still want ass at the end of the night. The math ain't mathing. I don't give a damn which way you look at it. The math, sir, is not mathing. So for all of you involuntarily celibate individuals trying to figure out why you are involuntarily celibate, look over there in that mirror, and you might see your problem. Because I'm really sick of, she is the table. How the fuck you gonna ask her what she bring to the table? What do you bring to the table outside of a paycheck? Can you fix some shit? Are you emotionally intelligent? Can you hold a conversation? Bare minimum. She can take her own trash out. I'm just curious. Because this is a consistent and constant argument. It's a thing. Instead of trying to find ways to compliment each other, it seems to be a race to the bottom to find out who can insult the other the most. Mind you, it was this weird-ass culture, this weird-ass society that taught us to treat our women the way they've been getting treated. Anyway, black man has always cherished the black woman in our own societies. It wasn't until we introduced other people's ideas and started trying to keep up with other people that it became the same argument. It wasn't, black women weren't trying to get freedom from their spouses. They were trying to get freedom from oppression, period. Whoever was doing the oppressing. Okay? I think that's a very important thing to note. Because like I said, I like to make the freaking same arguments and excuses all the time when it really is, you're talking about the wrong things. Honestly. Okay, in a article I found to be very concerning. I was clutching my pearls concerned about this article, so I felt like I should bring it to y'all. Y'all might not think it's important, you might not catch what I caught, but I found it very disturbing nonetheless. So, bothers me, I gotta tell you about it. So, somebody went to a luckily, this was out of the country, but it's not really relevant where it was. It's just what happened was the most relevant part. So, somebody went to a Goodwill, a thrift shop, a Salvation Army thrift shop specifically, and purchased some shoes. And they claim their excuse is that they wanted to see how far used clothes, donated clothes specifically, go in the world. So this person took some sneakers, they bought them, they put Apple AirTags in the soles of the sneakers, and then donated the sneakers to the Goodwill, right? And they tracked the sneakers like through countries, through Bosnia, Croatia, Slovenia, all across Europe, these shoes went, right? And they were like, oh, this is cool. But I'm like, the point that caught my attention is the AirTag in the sneaker. We've been having I need you people to pay very close attention to shit like this. Now they're sticking AirTags in random places. They're attaching AirTags to your book bags, to your cars, to your clothes, to whatever they can stick it to, and then they're tracking you back to your damn, I didn't think I was going there, right? They're tracking you back to your damn house with these AirTags and doing unnatural things to people. Okay, so this is something that you definitely need to be on the lookout for. And if you are fortunate or unfortunate, depends on what team you are. I'm team Android. I don't really care, argue with your mama. But if you happen to have an iPhone has a feature that will let you know if there's a tag in your immediate vicinity. And if you find yourself by yourself and that tag meter thing goes off, be concerned, okay? Make a habit of checking your surroundings, checking yourselves, checking your vehicles. Hypervigilance might seem like it's excessive, but it is absolutely necessary in this day and age. With the amount of people coming up missing, the amount of children disappearing, it's giving me agoraphobia. I don't even want to come outside. I just be in my house. I come here, I go to work, in the house. That's it. I don't see too much changing in the near future. Not with just had a music festival in Paris and somebody was running around the music festival sticking people with needles. Now, I was at a party in Manhattan and got stuck with something. Freaked me out. Okay, so I don't do crowds and closed-in places with a bunch of freaking strangers that I don't know, where they bumping into you as they pass. But I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Somebody stuck me right in my side with something. Okay, and I got sick that night and went right to the emergency room. Okay, because I felt it when it stuck me, and you know what it feels like to be stuck. Okay. Anyway. Somebody's going to be sarcastic about that, but I don't give a shit. That's my point. You got my point. You got my goddamn point. Be careful out there, please. Please, hyper, extra vigilance. Pay attention to your kid and the kid next door. God damn it. Somebody's got to be watching. Somebody's got to be paying attention. Somebody has got to give a shit. How about that? All right. I know. I'm passionate. That's what they call that. But yeah, don't be air tagging me, because I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to find out. And if I find out it was somebody I know air tagging me, it's on and popping, I promise you. Okay. So, anywho. So, everybody is shuffling around the country. This cost of living thing is getting completely out of control. Like I said, $2,700 for a 2-bedroom apartment. When I moved out of my parents' house, it was $700 for a 2-bedroom apartment. Where in the fuck are they getting $2,000 on top of that? I do not even know. Do you know how much you have to make? Okay? Do you know how many extra jobs I have to get now? This is too much. It's too much. Now, I loves New York. I do's. But it's I know they want it to be a like rich people's playground. That's what they have thought. So they're going to have the haves and the have-nots, and the have-nots is going to work for the haves, which means I got to go. I don't fit in there. I'm not a have or a have-not. I'm kind of in the middle. So I'm going to have to go, okay? Ultimately, I got to go. Now, the MetroCard era, I'm going to close out the show. Well, actually, we'll do our last couple of videos, but I'm going to close out the show with the idea that the MetroCard era is over. It's the end of an era. You may or may not, if you take public transportation, you may or may not notice that MetroCards are disappearing out of the stations, being replaced with these annoying-ass Omni card dispensers. Now, you would think that it's the same thing, but it absolutely the freak is not, okay? And I would recommend that you invest in RFID technology, which is signal blocking technology, because if the bus passes by your ass and you got that pass in your pocket, it will take $2.90 off your shit as if you got on the bus and you never got on the goddamn bus, okay? You never got on the bus. The bus just drove past you and robbed your pockets, okay? Because that thing on the bus that you tap your car, it scans. It's constantly scanning for the barcode on your card, whether it be the 225, the what is it, 325 single ride or the 290 per ride regular MetroCard, or even a reduced fare. It does not matter which type. They all operate off to the same signals and under the same frequencies. So you have them skimming your card, technically the equivalent of them skimming your card as the bus goes by, okay? Or if you happen to be downstairs in the train station near the damn turnstile, it will steal your money, okay? Thievery. Another thievery going on. Please, if you have any kind of, well, specifically a EBT card. If you have an EBT card, be very, very careful where you are using your EBT card. I know people don't even want to mention that they have an EBT card, but I see the numbers. There are a lot of people that have EBT cards. If you have an EBT card, for whatever reason, medical, food, cash, I don't care. That's your business. But please beware of where you're using your card. Skimming is at an all-time high, and the city is not reimbursing anybody anything anymore. Okay? It used to be that if they take your money, they will reimburse you. The USDA would reimburse you through the food stamps. You get your food stamps back. Trust me, I done had actual thousands of dollars taken out my shit. So I already know how it goes. And then it happened again recently. So it's still going on, and they are not reimbursing you. So just be careful. Please take note of the ATM machines you use. They have devices on the ATM machines that basically skim your damn number and send it to a remote location. I had somebody use my card in Illinois while my card was in my pocket. Okay, my little Medicaid, I don't give a shit what y'all feel about it. But it is what it is. So I experienced it, all right, years ago and cried like a baby. So I do not want y'all to have to experience it. And I know somebody else who just experienced it not too long ago. My prayers go out to them. I don't even know what to say because they're not even reimbursing the money no more. You can go and file a police report. That might make you feel better, but I did that and they're not going to do nothing about that either, so. It is what it is. I just want to let you know what's going on there so you can protect yourself. But yeah, no more Metro cards. The buses and the ATMs is skimming. Be careful out there. I want to definitely... let me run through these chats. I see you guys. I apologize. It's just that the stop to do the chat while I'm doing the chats is... while I'm chatting, I should say, is very distracting. So I'll be trying to find a moment in the show to acknowledge everybody. I don't want to not acknowledge everybody, but... it's a little distracting sometimes, and I lose my train of thought because I answered the question over here, and then now I don't even remember what the freak I was talking about. So bear with me. Shout out to Ebony. Make that a little bit good for me, bro. Ham. I see Ebony Justice. Good evening to you. Appreciate you tuning in. Love you very much. I see Tyrone Green. I feel like the Romper Room lady. I see Tyrone Green is in Romper Room tonight. Android, Team Android. That's right. That's right. Say what you want to say about iPhone and Android. Android is a very reliable phone. Okay? And I don't feel like a prisoner locked in the Apple universe. Like, you can't do a damn thing outside of Apple. Once you commit yourself to Apple, they own your ass. That is it. All right? The emojis don't even translate over, okay? You're in your own universe over there. Stay away from me because you bougie motherfuckers always act like because you chose to waste your money on a phone that ain't gonna be worth that money 6 months later, I'm supposed to feel a way about it, and I just don't. I saved my little couple dollars. My bill is low. My signal is reliable. That's all the fuck I could ask for, all right? Y'all wanted to stunt on people with the little Apple. Fuck the Apple. That's what got me and my peoples in trouble in the first place. Y'all want the same bit off Apple this bitch was eating. No, I'll pass. I'll pass. So let's see. Sad sign of the time. Ciao. The sign of the times is for next week. That's next week's topic. Signs of the times, because child, you got people over here talking about Israel is predestined, there's prophecies that the stuff going on there was supposed to go on there. Depends on who you ask. I don't know. I don't know God's will. Okay, but what I do know is that they can't force Armageddon. They might can force an apocalypse, because that's not the same thing. But they cannot force Judgment Day or Armageddon. I don't give a damn how many things they want to set into place and set the dominoes to rolling. It ain't going down till the man upstairs say so. So that ultimately is what they're all over there trying to do. All right, they wanna ring in mind you, the Antichrist comes first, according to the story. Okay, so when they say they want the Messiah to come, we still a little ways away from that. All right, but we are right in the middle of seals cracking and all kinds of other stuff happening. So, to all my peoples, all my tribes, praying for and with y'all. That's all I can say about that. I'm not gonna tell you what I'm praying about, and I'm only allowed to pray to one. Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to intercede for you, but if you talk to my brother Emmanuel, he's a good dude. He'll help you out. Anyway, with that, see, 2 minutes before it gets too much. I want to take this time again to, excuse me, to give a big shout out to everybody who tunes in on all of the platforms, on IG, on Roku, on Amazon, on YouTube, on 360 Live, on everywhere where you see my face. I'm so happy. Shout out to everybody who comments the questions in my inboxes. Shout out to the commenters on social media pages. Once again, that's Laura Richardson Bay on Facebook and Lola Bay on Instagram. Debating setting up like professional pages, but I don't know. I just like the intimacies of being, I don't need no blue checks or nothing like that. Fuck, hell, nobody cares. Anyway, yep. Want to say that I am over, so we're just gonna do my goodbye, happy goodbye video, and I will see you all again next week. Once again, I will not forget to always shout out again the Dr. Dre Victory Foundation. So check them out online. You got Dr. Dre Victory Foundation 39 at gmail.com. And Dr. Dre Victory Foundation 39.com. So yes, check them out. See the wonderful things they're doing over there. Shout out to Dr. Dre and all my supporters. And I will see you guys next week.
It's sad to think we're not gonna make it. And it's gotten to the point where we just can't fake it. For some ungodly reason, just won't let it die. No, I guess neither one of us wants to be the first to say goodbye. Oh, I keep wondering what I'm gonna do without you. And I guess you must be wondering the same thing too. Ooh. So we go on together, living a lie. 'Cause neither one of us wanna be the first to say goodbye. Every time I find the nerve, every time I find the nerve to say I'm leaving. Oh, the memories, those old memories, they get in my way. Oh, Lord knows it's only me. Oh, He knows it's only me that I'm deceiving. Ooh. When it comes to saying goodbye, that's a simple word that I just So we just go on, go on hurting and pretending, and convincing ourselves to give it just one more try. Because neither one of us wants to be the first to say. Neither one of us wants to be the first to say. Oh, neither one of us wants to be the first to say. Farewell, my love. Goodbye. Oh.
Thanks for watching. Tune in next week for the Lola Shae Show.